Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm Sami Laakso from Snowdale Design, and today with me here I have a special guest. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Sirthekos. Some of you might know me. I have a small YouTube channel where I review and play through board games. I also previewed Lands of Galzyr just a little while ago, and now I'm glad to be able to continue the adventure. Got my tea here, and I'm ready.
Perfect. And well, it's always a little bit a mess to adjust all the audio levels and video and everything. So if there's any problem with that on the music, on our sounds, just let us know, and I will try my best to adjust the levels on my end. So here we are, and as just like previous game where I played with Anton from Anton VS channel, we are going to quite fast jump into the game and explain some stuff as we go, but we are not going to have a full introduction and full rules overview in this stream. There are plenty of videos already, both on my channel and also in Sirthekos channel has also some neat stuff about that. So we are going to start playing, and previously we played with Keridai, and I thought that it would be fun to continue from Keridai's journey, but in a way that we all of these items we had in our previous game with Keridai, but because I want to highlight the other adventures as well, we are going to actually play with Bumir, so I kind of transferred the save slot from Keridai to Bumir. So you shouldn't usually do that, but I want to highlight the different adventures, so should be okay. Welcome to the stream, Anton, and good to hear that the sound levels are fine. So some final stuff that I didn't do yet are like randomize our starting day. So let's go ahead and do that. And here we can see that for this demo I somewhat randomly picked October, so we can also see the winter side of the game board for change. Most of my demos have been on the summer side so far, so I'm going to pick October here on the storybook. And it randomized our starting day to be Tuesday, so I'm going to mark it here on the game board as such. And I have two timed effects. I have the timer tokens here hidden behind Tekos, but I'll need two pairs. One for Chaffin, and that's number 5, and one for our game ending condition, which is 8. So that's 8, and that should be 5 for Chaffin. And then the last thing we need to do is choose our starting location, because we are not playing our starting quest, but rather we can imagine that we have already played a few games with Bumir, and now we can pick wherever we want to start the game. And for that we probably want to consult some of our own quests, and also the quests on the notice board here on the top right. This is the only one we had left from our previous game with Keridai. Smoldering Wood Part 3. Having released Hilemo from the prison, he recommends you to visit Rovun, the owner of the top log sawmill, in his mansion. Hilemo will wait for you in the Silver Mirror Inn, hoping for you to solve the case favorably for him and Chaunka. And this one can be resolved 2 spaces southwest of Sarevar, so it would be in here. It even has a sawmill here pictured on the game board. So if we want to continue this, we would like to move over there. And we have three quests on the notice board. So Tekos, for example, can pick our starting location based on what you want to go for. So in Sarevar, on top right, we have this aid in enforcing law and contacts requested. One of my properties is being occupied by destructive and harmful tenants. Then in the middle, the large city Rienstum. My fruitful plan calls for execution. Success in it will lead to fame and glory for both of us. Signed by Olamide the Dodo. And lastly, Chabar, someone with knowledge of property business needed. A pretty face is a plus. Signed by Resort Keribash. We don't have too pretty of a face currently because we're playing Bumir. But it's up to you if you want to challenge.
Yeah, I think the middle quest sounds quite interesting, to be honest. With the fruitful plants, I think.
Yeah, so it would be in Rienstum. So let's go ahead and start over there. And we can then immediately go ahead and pick it up.
Sounds good, yeah.
And here's the the private site. Fertile for Fame Part 1. There's a renowned gentlefolk club in Sarevar that I visit regularly to meet with my elite friends. The hottest new trend is to show off by owning expensive and exotic fruits. Chauri, my contact in Hesempi, is renting pineapples. Can you get me one before joining me at Sarevar? Signed by Olamide the Dodo Entrepreneur. And we can now go to Hesempi to meet Chauri if we want to. And,
sounds good.
So we have now those two. One quest would be result over here, and the other one is the new one is here down in Hesempi. And let's fill the notice board back up. So a new one goes to Arhin. We're constantly gathering new data about stars. New inspiring researchers welcomed. Signed by Arhin University. So let's move that over here. Welcome to the stream, Matt Guts. Go for the famous Dodo. What else? Well, you can thank Tekos for picking Rienstum that quest.
Well,
we also do have Chaffim, and Chaffim's advice we could be able to follow his advice here in Rienstum, as seen here. But unfortunately, this scene hasn't been done yet, so we can't follow Chaffim's advice quite yet. But if it would be a complete game, we could do a scene for Chaffim here too if we wanted.
Well, we're at the right place already, right? So.
But it's not the scene. Unfortunately, isn't been written out yet. But we would be in the correct place. In the last game we ended the game with Anton to hot springs in Chabar, and we met Chaffim over there. So now we can either head towards Hesempi or head towards this spot if we want to first go there and then to Hesempi, or if there are some faster ways like by traveling via boat, for example, to Hesempi, that would also be an option.
Yeah, while we make our way to Hesempi, we could pick up that location in the middle there, right? On the way. I think that would be kind of cool.
Do you mean by doing the quest here? Or?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so should we start by going here, for example, moving
sure.
to spaces?
Yep.
So each turn is represented by 1 day here on the calendar, and we first move up to 2 spaces, which we just did, and then we always have to take a single story scene, which can be visiting a location on the map. If we are in one of these named locations, we can do some quests if we are in a correct spot, but we are not yet for either of those, and we are always able to draw the top card of the event deck, which is also hidden behind Tekos. And we'll just take a look at the card and pick the topmost condition that is met. So here we see that we are not shocked, we are not in a settlement, but we are in grasslands space, which is indicated here on the game board where our adventure is. So we are going to take the scene number 237. I'll place this here for the duration of the scene. The storybook will always instruct on what we should do with that.
238, I think, right?
Yep, I'm not sure what I said, but I meant 238. So we can either scroll the list or just type in 238 and go directly into that scene.
Alright, let's see what happens.
So would you want to read some of the stories?
Yes, sure. Passing by meadows and fields, you see a crane sitting at the water's edge with his back to you. You were about to pass by without incident, but your curiosity is perked when you hear sobbing. As you approach, the bird looks over his shoulder at you, tears pouring down his face. Asking him what happened, the crane raises his wings and shows you that the tips of his wings are stuck in a snark of dented manacles. Kidnappers abducted me a few days ago and put these on me. Then I escaped, he sniffs. But I cannot get them off my wings. I have tried beating them against rocks, but they will not let go of me. Alright, and now we check all the tags we have, right? If we have lubricant?
Yep, so our adventure board has Explorer and Scent, and our items are Spying, Knowledge, Literature, and Music, and Chafim has tag Advisor, so we do not have a lubricant tag with us. So we have now 3 options. We can break apart the manacles, we can figure out a way to remove them, or just let him figure it out. And if we come across some really tasty decisions, we can also pull up voting on the YouTube chat. But for this, in sake of trying to keep this in like 2 hours or so, we are not going to vote for every single decision. So,
right. So where are we skilled?
We have 1 in thievery, 1 in might, and 2 in survival. And if we try to figure out, for example, we would use these 2 yellows, but we also have this pocket encyclopedia which saved us a few times in our last game. And in knowledge skill checks, we may reroll up to 2 dice and convert up to 2 books into 2 successes each, so we can kind of double up those books.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not too bad, yeah.
Anton is saying that I should increase your voice level a little bit. Let's do that then.
I'm having a few issues with sometimes the picture being a little bit pixelated. I don't know why that is. But now it's better again, yeah. Sometimes it's just the quality isn't too great. So yeah.
Yep. I gave you a link that you can also use to access this newest version of the storybook if you want to just look it on your browser window next to the.
That's a good idea. Yeah, perfect.
And it should be like this newer version, because the link in the regular link that is going to be the final one, it has a different link which is for the prototype on with all the content creators. But I have a newer version of the game here, so the book is also a newer version.
I think the best thing would be the first option, right? I mean, Umir is a physical kind of guy, as far as I know, but a little bit stubborn, so he would probably break apart the manacles, right? And also we could use quite a few good skill dice for that, right? Yeah,
well, we also do have Chafing with us, and he would also give us a single success if it wants to focus. But so we would have quite good odds even figuring out, because we have Chafing with us and he would give us 1 success for our knowledge skill checks, and we also have the pocket encyclopedia which will double our 2 knowledge successes, so we basically just need 1. And we do have those survivals, so we could have, actually in this case we have really nice odds even if we choose to figure out. But it's up to you. You're gonna say what we should do in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, you have a point, but I think if you go at it from a role-playing perspective, I think the first option would still make more sense for the character, right?
Yeah, Boomir would like to break apart the manacles, but Chafim is whispering into his ear that, well, I do have a suggestion for you if you want to listen.
Well, then let's say maybe this one time he's gonna listen. And if it doesn't work out, next time he's gonna be physical again in the next choice. So let's take the middle one for now, yeah.
So we're going to listen to Chafim, and we're going to pick 3 base skill dice and fill it back to 5 with our survival dice, which do help us with knowledge skill checks. And Boomir is all about forcing, so he's stubborn and would like to just break them apart, but Chafim, please calm down. We're not doing that. We're looking for different options. But already we can double this with Pocket Encyclopedia, and 1 from Chafim. We are already at 3 successes. So we can now either use Pocket Encyclopedia to reroll up to 2, for example these yellow ones, or we can just reroll everything, because that's always an option to have the full reroll if we want to be greedy.
Well, I think we already have 3 successes, which is pretty good. I think that's a pretty good outcome. So rerolling 2 dice would be enough, I think, right?
Yeah, we can, because we are not going to fail. It's just if we do get the better one. So let's now we're listening to Chafim, we're calming down, and now we're browsing through our Pocket Encyclopedia, see if there's some good ideas in there.
So let's see, maybe.
Well, no. No, we just Boomir skips straight to the fighting section of the book. Like, look what it says here.
Well, I mean, but it's in character, so.
Yes. I swear the dice are not weighted. They should be all fair. But let's reveal the outcomes. Well, so we got 3 to 4. We got 3 successes. 1 book from here, for example, would have tipped us to the 5, but Boomir refuses. And we are going with 3 to 4.
Working over a solution in your mind. It takes several hours before you think you have made a breakthrough. You instruct the crane to put its wings closer together instead of further apart. Push into them? That will just make it worse. Insisting again, he does as you instruct, and the tangled metal is no longer being pulled taut. Splashing some water on its wings helps make him just slippery enough to wiggle free of the broken manacles. The crane throws the cuffs into the water and bows to you before flicking a coin your way. Thank you so much, you amazing stranger. You wish the bird well and leave. And now we gain a few things.
We get 1 prestige, so I'll mark it here. And reminder, that's the goal of the game, is to gather prestige to become a famous adventurer. And then we get 1 gold, and I mark it here on our adventure board. We're going to up to 15 because we ended the game at 14 in our previous game with Keridai. And finally ask us to return the drone event card back to the bottom of the event deck. Like that. And that's the end of that round. If there would be multiple players, everyone would get their own turn and first move and then do a story scene. But as we are now demoing a solo game, we are going to move immediately to Wednesday. And if there were any timer tokens like this on the spot, we would simply resolve whatever they say. So here we have the Chafim will leave our side on Sunday, then he has had enough. And now after 1 week we are going to take the story scene here on the harmony card, which will end our game and grade our success. And that was the end of scene, and we'll move to Wednesday on the storybook as well. Welcome to the stream, Frankie, and hi to you as well. Nice of you to be able to make it, and same for Lion. Welcome to the stream again, and nice to have you here. And I think we're going to move now here to resolve our final, well, not final, but third part of our smoldering wood quest. So this is the one that we resolved for parts 1 and 2 in our previous game with Keridai, but now we are going to meet Robun the saw owner and take the scene 145. So 145. Do you want to be our story master for the game? If I make I have enough to talk myself, so then we can like have both something to.
Sure,
speak.
I can take over these story bits, just like in the quest we just did. All right. Before going to Rowan's mansion, you meet Hilemo in the Silver Mirror Inn. He wishes you good luck. Banging the brilliant golden knocker at the door, it timidly opens a crack as a score's servant pokes his head out. You explain that you have come to talk about the evidence against Jaonka. The scroll leads you through lavishly decorated rooms until you come to a cozy library. Inside, a refined but intimidating lynx sits in an elaborate sofa chair reading a newspaper. He folds it across his lap and invites you to sit across from him in an equally elegant seat. Alright, and I suppose we have some evidence, right?
Yeah, we got evidence of Rowan trying, or Jaonka trying to build, burn the sawmill down. So maybe this would be like a nice question to ask chat if they want to give evidence or
sounds good.
refuse. And now there should be like a little pop-up in your chat if you're no matter where you're looking at YouTube on your mobile or on desktop, and you can vote for us if we should give the evidence to Rowan or refuse to give the evidence. We have currently 2 votes. Vote for refusing. Now we have 3 votes. 1 for giving the evidence and 2 for refusing.
Well.
And now we got a 4th one for 3 for refusing. So I think that should be clear.
Pretty clear, yeah.
Yeah. Frank is also saying refuse. So we'll do exactly that then.
You tell the rich lynx that you can no longer help him. Rowan's eyes narrow to a hard glare. His claws clatter against the desk in a calculated rhythm. Sounds like a fine way to become my enemy. Even with the vague threat, you still refuse to give him the evidence. Get out, he snarls.
Alright. We can either intimidate Rowan to share the sawmill with Jaonka, or we can simply leave as he told us to. Intimidation is not our strong suit based on our skill marks. We do have our trusty drums, which were quite legendary in our previous game, and they do help us if we choose to intimidate to reroll up to 1 die up to 2 times. But as we don't have any good dice to actually reroll, I fear that it's not going to be enough with Boomir and his skill marks, and our other items do not help us in intimidation. So I think we should just leave quietly.
Yeah. While I would love to pick the first option, I think that's not gonna end well. So yeah, I suppose we're gonna leave.
Maybe we'll just be nice for once.
Just for once, right?
Yeah.
With Rowan's intense gaze on your bag, you exit his mansion. Returning to the Silver Mirror, you ponder with Hilemo what you should do with the evidence. As if on cue, a guard patrol from Shabar enters the inn. Hilemo shoots you an unsure look, worried about what you might be thinking. Alright. So...
we can either give the evidence to the guards, or we can explain to Hilemo why he should report to the guards. Well, that would be quite easy for us. We'll have Chuffing with us, so he would already give us 1 success, plus we have the pocket encyclopedia if we want to explain.
Is that something you would ask chat too, or should we decide?
Why not? Let's. This is probably the last part of the quest anyway that we like started in the previous game. So give evidence and explain. Frank is saying that we are the bad guys, and Matt says don't blame me. But well, we now give you the choice to vote, so we can actually blame you.
Well, to be honest, we tried to be good in the very first skill check, and that didn't work out. So
we have 3 votes for explain and no votes for giving evidence. I think it's quite clear that people want us to explain.
They want us to be nice, if possible. Yeah.
So I think it's not going to swing the other way around. So let's go and explain, and well, using the same. Let's see if we are going to explain with books or with our muscle.
Well, let's see how it goes this time.
Well, we got a wide variety of stuff. We got one book, so we are already at 3 books because we can double 2 with Pocket Encyclopedia.
And we can also reroll 2 dice, right?
Yep, so probably don't want to reroll everything as we already got 1, so let's just reroll these 2 and see if we can get more.
I think we just need 1 more book, right? Oh, okay.
We are already at 3 because this can be doubled, and Zafim is giving us 1. And this is easy skill check, but Boomin is just browsing through the self-defense section of the Pocket Encyclopedia. So probably happy with 3.
Yeah, that's a pretty good outcome. I mean.
Even now we could reroll everything, but I don't think it should be. Well, again, it's 4+ would be the best possible, so we just barely missed that, but we did get 1 between 1 and 3.
Alright, you tell Hilimo that if he knows anything illegal that Rovan is up to, he should share it with the guards. You make the case that it might be his only way to rid himself and Jonka of Rovan once and for all. Hilimo sees the wisdom in this. Calling the guards over to listen, he explains that he wants to report anonymously about Rovan's blackmailing business. Hilimo gives the guards a list of Rovan's victims, but leaves Jonka's name out. The group of guards agree that this will be enough to at least start an investigation into Rovan. Handing you a couple of coins, Hilimo thanks you for convincing him to come forward. And we get some gold.
So we're at 18. We have quite a lot of gold.
Oh, it continues here.
Yep,
right.
And the scene isn't over quite yet.
After all of this, you wonder if Rovan deserves worse. You could burn down the mill. You would need to buy a barrel of lamp oil from the inn and sneak past Rovan's guards. Hard, but doable. Telling Hilimo about your idea, his eyes widen in a reckless want. Oh, it would be a pleasure to help. Now we need to see if we have a light tag. I think we don't, right?
Yeah, we don't have a light tag. Matt says that they have heard that Boomir has nicknamed his fists simple and explanation. Well, we have three options. Well, let's just we are going to make some decisions on our own in future turns, I promise. But this is like cool decisions. So let's ask what you want us to do. So we can either sneak in and burn the sawmill, which is hard thievery. Our items, Spyglass does give us a single die reroll. If we choose to sneak, we can reroll one die. And we have okay dice, but not the best possible ones, especially because it's hard. And we can observe the card roads and let Hilemo burn the sawmill. That's a bit easier, but we have like worse dice for that. But our Spikers gives us a single success if we try to observe something. So that's probably would be our easiest way if we choose to burn the sawmill, or we can just leave it be. And let's see what people have voted. We have 2 votes. Both are for observing, and that would definitely be the easier one. Now we got 1 vote for sneaking. It's observing is still winning. Now we got 1 vote for let it be. Who did that? Who did that? Frankie is saying that the important thing here is to burn it. No matter how, but we should. So we are going to have already 4 votes, and 2 for observing, 1 for sneak, and 1 for let it be. So I think that should be okay, and we're going to observe card roads and let Hilemo burn the sawmill. So I'll remove 2 gold from us. We have to purchase some equipment, and we don't have that good dice, but we are looking just one observation or perception. 1 eye would be enough to get us the 2 which is required for medium skill check. Well, that's the 1 eye that we needed. Are we happy with 1? I think we should be happy with 1.
Yeah, I think it's okay. We get an extra, so we have 2, right?
Yep. The spyglass gives us 1 extra.
Yeah, and for medium that's enough.
Yep.
I'd say.
Let's go with that. Yeah, it would require us 5 to get the best possible, so not too realistic to get with these dice.
You and Hilemo head out towards the sawmill. Settling into a hiding place, you watch for the passing of guard patrols, trying to learn their schedule. When the sun sets and the patrols leave the area, Hilemo makes the oil and vanishes into the night. In short order, a wicked orange flame climbs up the side of the sawmill. An alarm bell is rung. Workers and fire wagons converge at the blaze and set up pale passing lines, trying to subdue the sudden inferno. Despite the efforts, the sawmill can't be saved. Hilemo returns to you in one piece, victorious but panting. You hope no one was in the building or that the fire doesn't spread out of control. And we gain some prestige.
So 2 prestige, we're up 3. And I returned the smoldering wood quest card to the library. And then if we would be playing with 2 or more players and someone was helping us in the scene, because scenes with this green handshake icon can be helped, or someone can assist us and become our partner for the scene if they're in the same space, but we can now ignore those handshake rules. We are I'll take 155 and we'll place it on the space with our adventure figure. So these are local statuses and they can be like attached to any of the spaces on the game board. And this is fire in the sawmill. The sawmill is ablaze. Folks are fighting against the inferno, trying to prevent the flames spreading onto the lumberyard. And on this space we can visit the ruins if we want to. So I'll place it here. The left corner is just have to point to the space that the card is at, so we always know where it is. And it has number 4 timer. So I'll take 2 timer tokens, and on Sunday they have probably been able to stop the fire. And finally it asks us to take the card 188 from the library and shuffle it into the event deck. So I took that and will shuffle it into the event deck.
Right. Then that quest is over too.
Yep. And now we can move to Thursday and end of scene here Thursday as well. Well, do we want to visit the ruins or continue our way to Hesempi? What should we do?
I think it would be cool to actually visit the ruins, because we can only do that for the next 3 turns, right? And we wanted to move south after that, so if we did it, then probably now.
So it's scene number 32.
Alright. The sky is alive with smoke and sparks as the inferno is crawled across several buildings at the mill. Firefighting folks, workers and locals with water wagons and pale plastic lines combat the blaze, which continues to swell in size. A safe distance away, predominant figures in the local community are organizing the firefighting efforts. One of them, Rowan, a richly dressed lynx, is furious. "That is my mill," he rages. "We need to redouble our efforts." Are you or your partner responsible for this local status card being here? I have no idea. We didn't do anything.
Well, we are responsible for this card being
I know, yeah.
We do have to click yes here.
Well, I tried. "You!" Rowan exclaims. "I know you!" Recognition mutates to suspicion and the lynx demands you to leave. One of the other figures of importance quietly speaks to Rowan over his shoulder, and the lynx nods. "I spoke too soon. You can help look for survivors, but if you make trouble, I have you arrested as a suspect in the arson." Speaking to the firefighting folk, they tell you to drench yourself and breathe through a wet cloth if you plan to go into a burning building.
So do we again leave when Roman shouts at us? Or should we search for survivors? Which is hard observers, hard perception skill check, and none of our items or our unyielding spirit and Chaffim also, none of those help us with search, so we would be on with our dice. But did we come all the way here just to leave?
Well, that would be the easiest option, because I think we only get 1 die and only 1 adjacent, right?
Yes, these would be the dice that we would have to roll, not easy.
I would really like to try to search for these survivors, but I think we won't have any chance with that 1 die and hard, so it's probably the better option to leave before Rowan becomes even more mad at us and has to tell us to leave a 3rd time, so yeah, I guess.
I think if we were to ask viewers, they would vote for searching the survivors.
Think so?
At least in our previous game, they just wanted to make things hard for us.
Well, of course, I mean, that's much more fun to watch. I understand that notion. How many successes do we need for a hard skill check?
3.
3. Oh.
So odds would really be against us, but it is possible, but not likely to happen.
But it would be more fun to watch.
Yeah,
for our viewers, I think.
Let's enter people and try to search for survivors. It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's not impossible, of course, but almost impossible.
Well, we're fighting our way through and trying to look our pocket encyclopedia. We did get 1, but unfortunately, when we reroll, we have to reroll everything, so we can't keep that single one. And now we're talking. Only got 1, but this is what happens when you get greedy and try to do something that you're not prepared for.
Well, to be honest, I didn't expect any success, so...
Yeah, we got twice a single one.
That's 2. But yeah. Alright, here goes nothing. You rush into a flame-engulfed structure. You are blinded by thick clouds of black smoke and trip over something. You think you see a glimpse of a body before a flaming piece of roofing nearly falls on your head. You hear cries for help and suffering through the heat and the fumes stinging at your eyes. You make it to a windowless side room. Frantically, a woodpecker and a mongoose are smashing on the outer walls with axes, trying to escape through a flame-weakened structure. Well, that's not going too well.
It's asking.
We don't have a warm tag.
We don't have a warm tag.
We have pretty much nothing to help here. You have to escape this blazing wreck of a building before it comes down on you. But with all the smoke you have inhaled, your eyes sting and dizziness grips your head. Yeah, that's not going well.
We are not feeling very well.
No.
We could again use our muscle or listen to Chaffing, who's it appears to be next to us in the burning building. He didn't actually refuse to come inside, it seems. So we can either recall the way to the exit or force way out.
Chad probably wants us to recall the way to the exit, right? Because we are supposed to be nice. But I'm actually
don't ask Frankie. Should we be nice or not?
I would be for the second option. I wanted to do it in the beginning, and we didn't do it. And Boomia always rolls the swords, so...
Well, let's see how we roll now. But
of course, I think now that we are trying to...
But we have our unyielding spirit, which we can use if it seems like we are failing. Because in might and survival skill checks, we may discard this unyielding spirit to reset the check and perform it again, and we even get one success.
Okay,
so if we are failing, we can then probably use that. But let's
also get a lot of skilled dice.
Yeah, this is like the best. We get to use all our dice, and now we're looking for swords. And I bet you we get some books. I bet we even get some books from the Thievery die, which doesn't even have any. Well, no books. So we are at 3, which would be enough to succeed in this.
Sounds good.
Yep, let's go with those.
With a feverish effort that only struggle for life can produce, you do everything you can to force your way through the wall. The other workers pick up their pace to match yours. The room is fully engulfed in a black, blinding smoke. With your last blow, light breaks through, and battling forward, you break through the wall and make it outside with the mongoose. You are both so overheated that you collapse, and other folk drag you away to safety. Through the quick bout of praises you get for saving the mongoose, there's no sight of the woodpecker. Likely he never made it. You feel terrible for the loss of the woodpecker, but your soul recovers, reflecting that you still saved someone. And that all despite our first failed effort.
2 prestige. And if we had freezing status, we would return that to library, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And we also return the 155 local status to the library. So we can't take the scene again.
Well, that could have gone worse, but also better, of course.
Definitely. Going to Friday, and same over here.
I think we wanted to go south now, right?
Yeah, if we want to go to Hesempi to resolve our Fertile for Fame quest. So that would be 2 spots here. And now we can either visit some of the locations here, ruins or camp, or we can also draw an event card here if we want to.
We also have a lot of gold, I think, right? I can't quite.
Yeah, we have 16 gold.
Yeah, I don't know if we can find anything in the camp to buy, but that would be an option too, right?
Yep. Should we go and take a look?
Yeah, I would like to take a look at the camp. I don't know, maybe we can get to something with our gold there.
something also that the game will come with this travel guide that you can get some idea even before visiting some of the places. So for example, here's some flavor for Teshun. The crumbling remains of the once great town of Teshun have an air of history to them like nowhere else. In case stories of ghosts and lost riches fancy you instead, take a peek at the tunnels below the town, but be warned, venturing deeper is decidedly unsafe. Outside of a mercenary group that has made the ruins their base, few live here these days. This changes in July, however, as a yearly festival brings the town to life like in the olden days. So it's some sort of mercenary camp that we are visiting, and that's number 12.
Number 12, you said, right?
Yep.
There we go. Alright, the mercenary camp is located on the south side of the ruined town, where the walls are still mostly intact. Approaching the camp gate, you notice a pair of guards playing cards. One of them looks up as you approach, his disinterested gaze scanning you briefly before returning to the cards. "If you want to work, talk to the captain," he shouts after you as you pass through the gate. The camp itself seems busy. By your estimate, more than 100 mercenaries go about their business amidst the tents and remnants of buildings. There's also a large and inviting campfire further inside. And I suppose we don't have the mercenary tag, right?
Yep, we don't. We have 3 options. We can hire a mercenary, which would cost 3 gold. We can look for work, or we can head to the campfire.
So, like, out of character question, hire a mercenary would mean probably that we would get like another character following us for a specific amount of time, probably.
Yep, probably. That would at least be one way to spend our gold.
Exactly, yeah, sure.
So
I think
should we? Let's go and hire a mercenary. So I'll turn us down to 13, as we were at 16. So we're going to hire a mercenary.
Maybe he's gonna help us with some of the roles we're trying here. So
yeah.
Your efforts are unfruitful at first, as most of the fighters don't seem interested in your offer for some freelance work. In fact, you get a feeling that they're busy preparing for something. Nevertheless, after asking around some more, you manage to find a few capable candidates willing to work for you.
And it asks to take 2 random, 149. I took 2 random and we got these 2, and we can now choose one of these companies to keep and return the other to the library. So on the left we have Ofu, a giant pangolin who is careless and mercenary. One of the newest faces around the camp, Ofu is eager to learn more and prove himself worthy of trust. And in might skill checks we would get 1 success, and if we fight we would reroll 1 die and delay his timer, and at the bottom we can see that they have similar timers, that after 4 days we would have to either spend 3 to keep them longer with us or discard. And then the other option is Yardek, the little owl, who has night vision, mercenary and flight. Yardek's piercing stare spots even the tiniest movements and makes those around him uncomfortable. And in perception skill checks we would get single success and would help us in intimidation and observing.
Yeah, I think Yardek sounds pretty good, right? Because I don't think we need too much assistance in fighting skill checks.
Yeah, I think Yardek will like complement our skills currently better than the careless Ofu. So let's go ahead and hire Yardek, and the eager Ofu will have to wait for another time to prove himself. So let's see. Don't have too much room here. Maybe I'll move our quest that we are doing, like for example here. So it has 2, 3, 4, and here. Frank is saying that we should also hire the power of money. So that's end of scene, and we're moving to Saturday. Same here. So this is the last day that Chafim will be with us. So we're probably going to continue our way towards Hesembi.
Yeah.
So we're ending into this small islet in the river, and going to draw an event card. And we're it's Saturday, and we are in a hill space. And the first here is Wednesday, and then all the way second to last is hill 65.
Okay. As you traverse the relaxing hillside slopes with their gentle breezes and rolling greens, you come upon an exhausted red panda, lying next to a hole in the ground and waving a shovel in frustration. I've been digging for hours, pants the panda, who introduces herself as Chaiwai. She leads your gaze down the old rusty chest half buried at the bottom of the hole. It's exactly where the treasure map said it would be, she wails, but I didn't expect it to be locked. Chaiwai rubs her whiskers nervously. If you help me open it, I'll share what's inside with you. I just don't want my afternoon to have gone to waste. But do be careful, the contents are probably fragile. And we don't have a lucky tag.
Yeah, the new tags from Chardek are Night Vision, Mercenary, and Flight. But Chardek isn't lucky. We can either unlock the chest, we can devise another way to open the chest, or we can just continue our journey. As this is the last day that Chafim is with us, should we, for one last time, listen to his advice?
And after that, we will not listen to any advice anymore, I suppose.
From anyone.
From anyone, exactly. Yeah, I'd say try it. Let's try it, yeah, sure.
So let's devise another way to open the chest.
If that's gonna work, so yeah.
Yeah, we are already at 1, and we need just one more, and we have quite a lot of rerolls, the usual one plus our pocket encyclopedia, so should be good. Well, now we got the survivals from there, so no books at all, so let's take the full reroll.
Yeah. Well, that's going great.
More survival, but we did get one book.
And that's enough.
That's enough, but I can still roll these 2 with the pocket encyclopedia to get to maybe get even better result. And now we got actually 2, so we can double both of those and 1 from Chafim, so we're at 5.
That's a lot. Wow.
Should get us the best possible, and it's 4 here, so we do get the best.
That's pretty nice. A cursory look tells all you need to know. It's the work of moments to pry the rusty hinge pins out of the housing, and the lid lifts to reveal the contents. The treasure, cackles Chaiwai, her face lighting up at the dust-covered relics and gadgets within the chest. Rubbing her paws at a good fortune, she reaches in and grabs a random item, throwing it to you as your payment. You are natural treasure hunter, she exclaims, appraising the contents of the chest with a keen eye. And it would be a shame to let such a talent go to waste. Let me tell you about this other place I know.
So we first get card number 43. We got a rare artifact. Might be a familiar looking image if you have played Dale of Merchants. It's worth 12 gold and has the tag Relic. Hunting rare treasures is a part of any balanced adventure. Finding one, that's what really makes the day. And if we try to convince someone, we can basically gift this away to get 3 successes. But the question is, do we want to replace one of our items for the rare artifact? But let's see, the other card we have 199. So this is random, not 199. A treasure hunt part 1 and partly part 2, I guess. Travel towards the green luces of a forest from. With one hint, you know where to search for the next one. And we can only have 1 treasure hunt in our possession at any time. And if we do not have clue tag, well, we can go to Arhin and visit the library to, well, assume searching for the clues, and then there's a partly ripped off another scene that we can't take because we don't have we only see the 2 first numbers. But we have now 2 quests. One to Hesempi and the new one if we want to go towards the treasure hunt that's in Arhin.
So and we still need to discard 1 item, right?
So as it kind of saddens me, but maybe we have gonna get rid of drums, for example. It was really good with Keridai and her skill dice. I mean the skill marks on her adventure board, but with us it's not nearly as good. If we explore, we can reroll. That's okay because we have survival skill marks, but intimidation does pretty much nothing for us with our dice currently, and recalling isn't too good either. So
yes,
do we want to replace drums or something else, or just throw away the rare artifact?
I think the rare artifact is pretty strong if we run into the right situation, so replacing drums with that might be a solid option.
I think drums did their work in the previous game. So let's return drums, which is 14, and now we have a rare artifact.
Great.
And that's the return to drone event card at the bottom. And then end of scene and move to Sunday. And now Chaffin will leave our side because we didn't follow his advice and go to Rienstum because we couldn't quite yet. You'll have to go and figure that out once the game is actually released.
Alright, and from now on, no more listening to advice from anyone.
From anyone.
Except chat, maybe.
That's our exception. So exactly. We have 3 more rounds to go. So I guess we're going to use the first one to go to Hesempi and start our quest there.
We finally made it.
Yeah, took a little while, a few detours, but we are here.
Yeah, we just burned down a few things, but otherwise, yeah.
But we also saved people from the burning building that we set up a place. Or to just get more prestige. So we are now going to meet Shauri, and he's like the Olamide's friend, and he should be able to rent us a pineapple, because why not? And it was the scene number 102.
Uncle Jaori's Juice is in a cozy corner store in the market district. Jaori is an old but active fruit bat, climbing around the rafters while balancing a tray in his wing to serve juice to his many customers before coming out to talk to you. A lot of rich folks have started asking me for exotic fruit recently. Jaori strokes his snout as he ponders your request for a pineapple. Uncle Jaori is happy to provide, but they don't even eat them. They just display them, then give them back. I've turned into a fruit rental company. Unfortunately, his waiting list is many weeks long.
And we do not have the tourism tag. So we can either convince Yari to rent a pineapple, we can give her a little gift if we want to, or we can please him with a donation. We do have still 13 gold, so that would also be an option.
Well, the skill check is gonna probably fail, right? Because we can't use any specialized skill dice.
Yeah, we could all just roll 5 black dice and see if we can get 2. If not, we could just throw the rare artifact if and when we would fail.
Or we pay gold to him, right? I mean, we are 13 still?
Yeah, both options are quite valid.
Yeah, I think I would tend to use the second option, like paying gold, because I think the rare artifact might be useful in a different situation still. So
yep, we can.
I don't know if getting rid of it immediately is such a good idea.
We have 13, so let's go down to 8 by giving a nice little donation to Jauri.
And having not enough gold is going to be the problem of the next guest on your stream.
Yeah, because I will probably again change the character, but have the same golden items.
Well, that's too bad. I may love fruit, but I'm a merchant through and through. Jory smiles as he accepts your generous gift. Glad to see we understand each other. Jory then goes on to explain that he can think of one way in which he can possibly acquire one. Take Raya here. Jory pats the hip of a massive tiger emerging from the shop. And pay my pineapple supplier a visit. Get a big crate. I'll give you the best one. The riverside warehouse is filled with busy folks carrying fruit crates fresh from the docks and orchards of Hizembi or loading them onto rafts bouncing on the banks of the Iroga River. Pineapples? Said a smiling weasel. Yeah, I just happened to have a new shipment, but someone offered to pay double on it. Sorry to Jory, but if you match the new offer, they're yours. Jory didn't give you enough to cover the difference, but there are other ways to get that crate. Raya winks as he elbows you in the ribs. Ow. Alright.
We can pay the difference. Well, we still have 8 gold, but or we can sneak inside later, or we can force our way through the fence, which sounds like Boomir's way to handle the situation.
I already see an option I like, yes.
And Yardek helps if we intimidate, observe, or do some perception skill checks, but neither are. Nothing is available, so I think we are going to force. We still have our unyielding spirit. If we are failing, we can use that like our guarantee. So let's
right, but we get like 4 skill dice, so that's pretty good.
Yep. On the previous decision, Frankie also said, "Pay. We are rich." Well, not so rich anymore, but we were rich. So we are trying to force our way through the fence. Well, a single lonely might, so well, just going to reroll everything.
Yes. Come on.
That's nothing.
Wow. Okay.
So I guess we are going to use our unyielding spirit to reset the skill check and try again. And we also get one success, so we only need 1 more to have the required number of successes for a medium skill check. So let's try again.
Good news, we have 1 success already without having rolled the dice, so that's good.
Well, that's more like it. So we are now at 3.
Good.
I think we should be happy with that and not be greedier.
It's better than 0, so...
Yeah, I'll move these here as we now have more space. So, well, we did not get 5, but it's between 2 and 4.
You draw the line at negotiating with this weasel. Fine with me, she says, immediately forgetting that you exist. You and Raya share a glance. In moments, you're by the warehouse side fence. The wood gives way and you squeeze in. Look, says Raya as he points out a great spiky pineapple tops poking out. You hear footsteps, so you grab a few pineapples each and sprint back out through the hole in the fence. Thanks for your help, pants Raya, who hands you your promised pineapple. I'll make sure to get these to Jaori. Prized pineapple procured, you feel a sense of pride at having defeated the puffed up weasel. And we gain even more prestige.
So we are going to up to 6. And I returned the card 160 to the library, and we are given 62. 62 and 121. And then partner would get stuff as well if we had a partner. So here's the 62. So we got determined for outsmarting the weasel. And in any skill check, we may discard this determined to get 1 success. And if we ever get afraid, we would have to return this card back.
That's pretty good.
And we got Fertile for Fame Part 2. With a hard-earned pineapple in your possession, you're ready to help Olamide impress his friends. Meet him at the Raised Snouts General Club in Sarevar. And now we can go and meet Olamide in Sarevar to continue this quest line. And then we move to Monday. And same here. So we have 2 days left. If we want, we can move 2 spaces here and then to Sarevar if you want to bring the pineapple to Olamide.
You're right, we have enough time for that. So it's just gonna be enough. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good end to our adventure today.
Yep, so 2 spaces north. I'm going to draw an event. So it's Monday. This is asking for Tuesday. And then we are in a hilly region, so it's the 60 scene.
On a rocky slope, you come across a group of curious onlookers gathered around something. Pushing through, you see a large boar-drawn coach sitting in the middle of the road. There's 4 figures beside it. The partridge driver is examining a broken axle while the other 3 argue loudly. From what you gather, one of them, an old polecat doctor, was on his way to a nearby village to treat a dangerous outbreak when the carriage broke down in the rocky roads. His 2 vulture aides are trying to convince him to continue on foot, unsuccessfully. "Nonsense," says the doctor. "Even if I made it all the way, it'll be me who needs treatment." He gives a small chuckle at that, patting his belly.
And we do not have a moment tag with ourselves. And we have 3 options. We can either fix the axle, medium survival. Well, we have quite nice dice for that. We could intimidate the doctor to sprint. Jardek would give us 2 rerolls for intimidation, so not good with our black base dice. Or we could just continue our way. And if we do fix, tinkering tax would give us more successes, but our items don't have any tinkering.
Yeah, probably the only reasonable thing is to fix the axle, I suppose. Even though intimidating might be funnier, but it's not gonna work out in our favor. So
it's not going to work. I fear with our dice. Yeah. Boomir is, without adjusting the skill dice, Boomir is really bad at communication. So let's try to fix the axle. So keep the orange die there, go with those. And we also have our determined status if we need 1 additional success at any point. But well, Boomir is quite the handyman it seems. That's 6. I guess that should fix a broken card. No problem. 4+.
Well, we got a good roll for a change. That's refreshing. Your offer is accepted. The group even tries to help you before realizing that they would only be in the way. In quick time, you assess the damage and expertly reinforce the axle in just the right spots to hold even in the rockiest roads and under the heaviest loads. "What luck to have run into a master carpenter out here," the doctor exclaims after you're done. "You might have just saved a lot of lives, and I'll make sure they know who to thank." They rush on before you can even think about requesting compensation. But you were able to help, and it feels good knowing it was your adventuring that led you here. A right person in the right place at the right time.
So we got prestige, we're up to 7. This is going surprisingly well.
Yeah.
And we also got card 60, which is Inner Peace, which has serene and upbeat tags. meditation, calmness are the keys to tranquility. And if we take part in thievery, might or survival skill check, which are like our all the three that we are good at, we have to discard this. But if we recall, convince or observe, we get 1 success and it will stick with us for 4 days. So Bumir is like a change polecat. He's all calm and relaxed. But how long?
I fear we're not going to keep that card for long.
So 4 days there and 4 here. And return the drawn event card back to the bottom. And Tuesday, our last day, and our plan was to go here and do the Fertile for Fame pineapple quest, but we can, in the meanwhile, as we are here, we can still pick up. Frank is writing intimidate. Now the chat wanted us to fail. Let's see if we can add some polls for viewers for the last quest that we are going to take. But here we can take this. Actually, if I remember correctly, we actually did this quest in the previous stream. So as we are like kind of continuing, should not actually have that in there. So I'll just swap it for another one. That would have been in Teshun, so we could have been able to draw it earlier. So I'll pick that for us. It's in Arhin, so we might want to in the next game go there, and another one in Arhin as well. So well, everything is punching up there. But now we can go and do the Fertile for Fame and meet Olamide in the Raised Snouts Gentlefolk Club, and that's 103.
103. Olamide meets here outside the Raised Snouts Gentlefolk Club, ecstatic to see his promised pineapple. He invites you in as his personal pineapple protector, but requests that you do not speak unless spoken to. The club is filled with the rich and powerful, holding conversation and nibbling aperitifs. Attending butlers and valets carry coconuts, bananas, kiwi fruit, in one case a durian. Olamide rushes to a female beaver in an exquisite gown. Great news, I have a pineapple too. Well, let me see, she cries. Olamide turns to you expectantly, but you realize that the pineapple is missing from your backpack. A thief! Olamide cries in horror. The club fills with whispers. Thievery? Here? Unacceptable.
Well, we do not have toxic tag, and now we can either observe or sneak. Let's add a poll so people can. So observe and sneak. And observing would be way harder, but Chardek would give us a single success. Spyglass would get a single success for observing, so that's already 2. And Yardek also would get us 2 rerolls. We could reroll 2 dice. And our inner piece would get us a single success for observing, so we would already be at 3 successes if we choose to observe. If we sneak, Spyglass gives us a single reroll, and we would have to discard our inner piece, which we worked so hard to get.
Yeah. So let's see what chat is saying.
Chat is voting 1 for observe and 1 for sneaking currently. So if we get the third vote to break the tie, or else we have to make the decision, make the call ourselves. Personally, I would probably lean towards observing, just to keep our inner peace, and it's hard, and we have like 3 out successes for that.
Would be a shame to discard inner peace, so I agree, yeah. Do we have a third vote in?
No, that doesn't seem like we got a third vote, so I think we'll have to make the call ourselves.
Well, then let's observe, I suppose, right?
Let's observe, and we're at 3 successes. We have 2 rerolls, and Czardek is helping us for the first time. That's what we're paying him for.
Yeah, exactly.
So with observe, I'm going to use our thievery die and base dice. And I've got 1, so we're at 4. Are we happy with 4, or should we just reroll everything, or use Czardek's ability to reroll these 2? Because we did get 1 from the black die, which is not easy.
I mean, we are still with 4. I think that's still the same outcome as with 3, which we have anyway. So re-rolling would be a good idea, actually.
Yeah,
right?
but do we want to reroll everything, or use first Czardek's special ability to reroll these 2? So
yeah, let's reroll the 2 first, right?
And if we still don't get more, then we can even roll everything. That's 1 more. So now we are at 5, which usually should be enough. Or we can like burn our determination and go up to 6 if we really want it. Personally, I usually want to save it like to notch to like have the success, because you never know how much you need for the best possible outcome. But sometimes it's also just can use it.
Yeah, but I think 5 should be enough, right?
Yeah, let's go with 5. And it's exactly 5.
Perfect. As the folk erupt into cacophony, you scan the room for suspects. Your keen observations eliminate most, leaving only 1 potential suspect, a smirking, pale-throated sloth who remains calmly in her seat, while next to her, an otter, the butter, holds a very familiar pineapple. You've spent long enough with that accursed fruit that you'd be able to sketch it in your sleep. That's definitely All-Might's pineapple. You call for attention and state your case, enumerating the 7 rows of leaves, the regularly bumpy surface of the fruit, and the pale blotch near the bottom, all while the otter's face drains of color. The sloth scoffs at your claim, but the otter cracks. "Madame ordered me to," he shouts, causing a great hue and cry to go up. As the furious sloth is escorted out, All-Might is overjoyed at the return of his fruit, and the beaver writes you a letter of favor in thanks. And 2 more prestige.
So we're going all the way to 9.
Wow, this went really well today.
This went really well.
Who would have guessed?
I returned Fertile for Fame 121 and got us 216, which is a favor of elite. You want the trust of a person of high influence. Showing the letter to the correct person at the right time can make things a lot easier for you. Make it count. And it simply has the tag elite and nothing else. So, and it's an adventure status card, so we can have as many adventure statuses as we can gather. So it's just waiting for probably the storybook to ask if we have the elite tag with us.
Not bad. Okay.
And partner would gain some prestige, and then we would have to activate by moving quest card 136 from the library to the quest slot. So it would in time it would come and get placed on the notice board to be played. So that's end of scene. Going to Wednesday, and then here I think I have actually forgotten to move this once, because this was our last day, and we would have wanted to actually pay Czardek 3 gold to stay with us, at least because we actually used him in the scene, so it would be cheating not to pay him.
Right.
So it was to delay by 3, so 1, 2, 3, it would move all the way there. So now we move to the Wednesday. Sometimes a lot things to keep track of when you're streaming and trying to watch the chat and handle everything. But now we're moving to this card here that we use because we are playing a solo game. The same card is also used if you play cooperatively. So in one player game it's number 8 and now 8 rounds, and now we're going to take the scene number 200 named Gathering. What did I do? I broke everything. Alright.
Alright. After all the excitement, challenges and adventure, it is time to unwind for a moment and reflect on your travels. Alright. One adventurer.
And we do not have an isolated tag, so no.
You head to the nearest inn, intent on treating yourself to a well-deserved evening celebrating this leg of your journey. Already from the outside, you can hear the sound of lively patrons, suggesting that the establishment is quite full once again. Despite the noise, all heads turn as you enter, curious to see the new arrival.
We have exactly 5 gold.
Yeah.
Do we throw a party or do we celebrate alone?
Well, why don't we throw a party and see how your next guest in your next stream will get along with 0 gold?
Well, I guess so. So we'll go all the way to 0. Not quite as rich anymore.
Not quite, no.
And it's asking how much prestige we got. And well, we are exactly at 9. So
nice.
that's the minimum needed for the best possible ending, which we barely made.
This is probably going to be an insane party. The inn explodes into cheers as everyone is struck and beyond themselves. Not many are graced by someone so famous as you. You buy drinks for all your fans and kick off the party. That sounds good. Word spread through the region about your party and hundreds join the celebration, growing it to a legendary size. You have become a component of Galzyr itself, as recognizable as any landmark. The party lasts till noon the next day with a huge mess left behind from the revelers. You help for the revelers. You help the innkeeper clean up, who tells you to help yourself to anything left over. You are legendary.
We are legendary.
Nice.
And no money. A broke legend.
Yeah, a broke legend, right.
And now we would be able to change one of our skill marks for any other skill mark, but we can skip that for now because we're going to play another adventure in the next game. But if we wanted to, we could get better at communication. If we, for example, if we are like annoyed for not being able to communicate at all with anyone. But it would be up to us to do whatever we wanted with that. And we also do all the save effects from all the cards on the game board and on any components. So we would, for example, get our own special ability back, the card number 0, because that's written here on the adventure board. So we get that back. So we'll actually have 4 adventure status cards to be saved, and our quest have no save effects, but the month card always has a save effect here at the bottom. So October will be replaced by card number 11, which is you might like quest. It's November. And then these cards over here would go to Boomir's own save slot over here. So Boomir would continue where he left off, and everything here on the game board, and these cards here on the side, as well as the full event deck, will go to the global save slot. So the world will continue from the status that it was left off.
Awesome.
So that went way better than expected.
Yeah.
Sir Tekos is now officially legendary.
And broke.
And broke. But maybe you can get some donations as you're so legendary. Or maybe they think that you should have your own gold because you are so good.
That'd be great, yeah. I like the sound of that.
But thanks for joining the demo for both Sir Tekos and everyone viewing. It was a nice game.
Thanks for having me again. It was really great playing the game again. So yeah, it was fun. Can't wait for it to be in our hands next year.
Yeah, there's still, as you people so like the Chaffing, we couldn't do that because it hasn't been done yet, and there's some stuff, or well, a lot of content that we still need to create, like more quests, more events and stuff like that. But we're busy working on all of that to be ready for everyone next year.
Great.
So last reminder, I'm Sami Laakso from Snowdale Design, and this is Sir Tekos. He has his own YouTube channel, links below in the description. Go and subscribe for his great YouTube channel for board game reviews and things of that nature.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. Thank you, and see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.